Welcome back to another great episode of Meet the Innovators. I'm your host, Shemuel Namaste, Shemuel XYZ. You know what it is. I'm here with my good brother, trusted colleague, friend, fellow creative. The list goes on and on. Mentor of sorts, Jeremiah Drummond.
Well,
Tell
thank
the
you,
people
brother.
where you from, man.
I am from good old Spartanburg, South Carolina.
Spartanburg, South Carolina.
Spartanburg, man.
My God. Tell people what you're involved with, Jeremiah, if they don't know. If they're sleeping under not just a rock, but a whole boulder, size of Mount Everest.
You know what? I honestly forget some of the stuff that I'm involved in a lot of times. But one of the things that I work on pretty often is in the middle, you know, Path, which is picture a family together. I used to do Freedom Breaks the Internet.
Right.
I'm gonna have to get back into that, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to Freedom Breaks the Internet. Yeah, man. And of course my photography company and just a whole lot of other projects in the community that I try to get involved in.
Right. Part of the community group as well.
Oh yeah.
Probably the youngest person probably in the community group.
For right now, yeah.
Young King. I would consider you a very wise individual.
Thank you.
A person that has created so many different things. Where does that come from, that work ethic that you have, that drive, that focus?
I think the work ethic comes from, I would definitely say my family, for the most part, because like growing up, seeing my mom, you know, work multiple jobs and raise us, me and my cousins by herself, it really pushed me to want to do more, you know, and to help out the situation as best I can.
Yeah. So, in the middle, right?
Yes, sir.
Where are you when you're sitting down, you say, you know, I have an idea to assemble the craziest cast to talk about various serious topics. Like, where were you? How does that come to your insight? Give us some background.
Well, that's a pretty intense question.
And I love it. Welcome to Meet the Innovators.
But I would say I know that in an end goal, when I was even starting photography and acting, I wanted to do a talk show. I wanted to be in front of the camera. And that's what I'm in school for now. I'm a broadcast major. And I always wanted to go the traditional route of doing news first and, you know, get a couple experience, build my resume, and then enter into that. But I was doing a Brandon photo shoot for Jeremiah's photography, and Lee was doing it, and Lee was like, man, just go ahead and get it done now. Just go ahead and start jumping on it. And I was like, yeah, I just got a lot to build before I do something like that. But that was the first spark that built my interest in starting a talk show. And then I spoke with a couple other people about actually how I'm gonna implement this and what exactly the stuff that I'm going to talk about. And I wanted to do something that I'm like really passionate about, which is the Black community and the innovation and elevation of us as people, you know? So that's where that essentially came from. And then it came to, I want to get some people that are dope, educated, and talented to be a part of the ensemble. And I mean, that's where we're at today.
And, you know, I tell people all the time, they come to me and say, you know, I love your show.
Yeah.
I'm like, what show? Oh, the show in the middle. I'm like, okay, let me put it in reverse. That is not my show.
They be asking you how to get on, right?
Right. Listen, man, I'm just looking for opportunity, you know, to be on the show. And I'm telling, I mean, these are creatives I worked with a lot, and they know how I work.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not the type of guy that takes ownership of things that I don't own, even though I might be heavily involved. But I, you know, show great respect to those who are involved. Now, Meet the Innovators, okay.
Now you get full credit.
But, you know, for the people you went after, what were you looking for those particular cast members? How did you decide this person, this person, this person?
Well, I mean, you know a little bit of the backstory as to the panel that we had initially, because The first time, what we did was we went to Spartanburg Library, and I texted a couple of my friends, because everybody that was a part was friends or family, and I had them somewhat just audition and talk about different topics and see how everybody came together, and it went well, and we did basically like a pre-season shoot. And and then through that, we were able to develop as what we want, what we don't want, what would be good for our viewers, what would be good for us as people, you know, and that's how we got to the panel that we have today.
Great. You spoke about family and friends. Tell us the impact of Lee Smith. You recently just was awarded Digital Media Person of the Year Award at the Black Excellence Gala on June 29th, and your award was presented by Lee Smith. Oh yeah. And that was a big moment where you guys raised, you know, I was in the Raptors. Yeah. Just my eyes. Tell us about that moment and the power of Lee Smith in your life. Okay, so when I first met Lee, it was not intentional. I was going to the barbershop to get a haircut, and my barber, Rufus, I'm not sure if you know him, but he initially, he knew that I was doing photography and I wanted to do more with it. And he was like, you should connect with Lee Smith. And at that time, I never heard of Lee before. So I was like, oh, for real? It's like, yeah. And then I think his poster for Past and Present of a Slave, he was doing a play at Chapman Culture Center. Right. And that was in the barbershop. And I think he was either dropping it off at that time, or it was like the next week we connected, or it was something along those lines. But he invited me to come to the show and just watch and, you know, help out if I could. And that was the first time that in my life that I've seen something where it was so many black creatives in one environment, so many people being free creatively, and it was just a fun environment to be in. What year is this? This is what, 2015? 2015, yeah, 2015 or 2014. It was around that time. You were in high school. I was either freshman campus or about to be in 10th grade. I can't remember exactly, but it was around that time because I knew that shortly after that I was campaigning for president of the school, and he took my campaign pictures for that. He took my campaign pictures for that, and then during that same time, he was doing Jason Angle Films, and it was a lot of production going on as far as short films. That's when I met Kristen, Andrea, and a whole lot of other people that, you know, that's with the show today. You definitely, during the show, season 1, you revealed something about yourself that was a very emotional point. Where do you find the courage to tell that particular story, and how was that leading up to that moment? Well, you know, I'm still in self-discovery mode, to be honest. Mm-hmm. And I think that was the first major step that I took to essentially finding myself. Because as a kid, I didn't necessarily know who my father was. So it was hard on me. I think it was more so internal than external. Right. But it was just a lot of built up emotion, a lot of built up questions that I had, you know, that I just didn't know how to deal with. Right. And when it came time to us being transparent with the show, because that's what I wanted, we were talking about family secrets, and I was like, I can't ask other people to talk about family secrets if I don't even talk about my own, you know? So that's when I built up the courage. And this whole show has been very therapeutic for me. Talking about different topics that I usually wouldn't talk about, or usually don't have conversations in my own household. So being able at that moment to talk about, you know, not knowing exactly who my father was, or identifying with what family that I associated with the most, was definitely a time that I felt like I needed that, and that's been the breakthrough. Since then, I've been able to find myself and be more open and be more transparent
in a whole lot of different aspects that I wasn't before. That's true.
You know, a lot of us, especially in this creative space or the media space, you meet people who aren't really that genuine.
Yeah.
You know, when the lights come on, they're that person, but when the lights go out, there's, you know, you can't connect with them. So it's kind of hard to assess them or connect. And you've been a person that's been very genuine the whole time. And, you know, it's a blessing to know you as a young man. It's a blessing to be under your tutelage as a creative. You're the reason why I stepped up my whole game and what we're doing here. And I'm like, okay, Jeremiah set the bar for us here. And we want to give you flowers while you're still here, and for being young and having this particular insight. So if there's anything that you're involved with, you'd like to let the audience know.
Yeah. Shem, first, man, thank you for even letting me be on here, man.
Yes, sir.
It means a lot, man. It really does. I mean, some of the same projects, In the Middle, season 3 is coming out soon.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know, Paths, Picture of Family Together. Thanksgiving, we'll still be out there taking pictures. Right. So those are the 2 major projects that are coming up, and I'm looking forward to. So
yeah. Make sure you follow this guy, Jeremiah. Is it _Drummond?
Jeremiah _Drummond on
Instagram. Follow him or like his page on Facebook. Also, like In the Middle on Facebook. We want to thank Brother Drummond for, you know, his continual wisdom, and bless him on his continual endeavors and where he goes. I'm super excited to see where you take things, you know, 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the road. And I really believe you're a big role model to a lot of youth who would not take the path that you have taken, but now see that's a possibility. Yeah. Yes, we thank you. We want to also thank the Ballard Billing here at SMC. Our mentoring sponsored the space, and we are here live in effect, and we thank you for that. We want to thank you for viewers for watching the show. Make sure you follow all the social media handles, and we'll see you next time on Meet the Innovators. I'm your host, Shemuel Namaste.